show you a 3D Captain Crunch, and there's a really big trend that was started by an artist on Instagram called Morningstar Bazin, and I can put a link to her Instagram account on my description box or in my description box below, but she did encapsulation with different pieces of cereal. So this design would go really well with some encapsulated Captain Crunch. She's also really big on, pushing credit for the original artist and sharing recognition and crediting people just in general. As, any kind of inspiration, she really pushes to have credit go back to her, which I completely respect, so I'm going to definitely put a link to her stuff below. So if you want to see that, check that out. Even though I didn't do her design, it just would go with it really well. So if you want to check out her work, that would be awesome. Her stuff is beautiful. She does a lot of hand-painted logos and such, so definitely look at that, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! So I'm going to begin with an overlay of a very beautiful yellow acrylic that has a gorgeous little shimmeriness to the background. And then after I have that done, I'm going to encapsulate it with a layer of clear acrylic to make sure that it's nice and strong and it helps protect that glittery background color. Once that's complete, I'm going to file it into shape with my e-file, just going over it to smooth out any lumps or bumps or issues. After that's done, I'm going to begin sculpting the captain with some just kind of a nice medium skin tone-ish color. This one that I use almost for every single person I sculpt. That's called Toffee Pecan from Double Dip, and it's just a beautiful fleshy color. It works actually really well. I've sculpted many different skin tones with it because with paint and with different things that you can add to it and do around it, you can really make it look like a darker, deeper, richer skin tone, as well as make it go a lighter skin tone too. So it works really well, and it's just one of my favorite colors, and I use it constantly. So after I have that done, I'm going to add just a little bit of the white hair on the side of his head with some white acrylic, and then switching to a rich blue, I'm going to begin sculpting his uniform. So I'm going to just kind of do little bits here and there, slowly working it up and building it up into the shape that I want. Whenever you're sculpting a character like this, it's really imperative to look at the areas that are further back. So anything that's partially covered, so his face is one of the things that's farthest in the back. It's underneath his hair, it's underneath his clothes. And then kind of bring it up and slowly do the things that come closer and closer and closer to the front, or to the beginning of, or the closest to you, is what I'm trying to say. So you have to kind of break it down in a certain way so that you sculpt things and they layer properly. So after I have his body done, I'm going to be adding his arms. He's got one arm that's going right, actually if you look at a box of Captain Crunch, it's holding a spoon, and it comes way out to the front holding onto that spoon full of the cereal. And then that one, I'm not going to do that whole spoon. I want this to be a wearable design, so I'm just going to kind of end that arm right at the tip of the nail, but then the other arm is up and he is saluting. So we're going to be doing that other arm going up, and then you also have to sculpt his hat. So I'm going to do that with that same rich blue color. And a lot of these colors I'm using are actually from Double Dip. That background yellow color is, and then this blue and the Toffee Pecan color are all from Double Dip. And I'll put their color names in the description box below if you are interested in any of them. They sculpt so beautifully for 3D art like this. I do highly recommend them. And if you're looking for some of these colors, I would suggest maybe giving them a try. And I know that some people don't trust YouTube videos that recommend certain things, and I can completely respect that. There is a lot of times a monetary gain to an influencer, as we're unfortunately called, when you have somebody that uses your link. And I just want to kind of clear the board. If you've watched some of my videos, I have had sponsored videos in the past where I have bashed products because bashed isn't really the way to put it. I have told it like it is, I guess you could say, and I'm just not super thrilled with certain products, and I'm going to tell you that. But if I love a product, I'm going to scream it from the mountaintops, because I really want to support brands that are doing things right and doing things that are cruelty-free, which Double Dip is, and have products that actually I want to use. And I'm not going to use them if I don't want to use them. There's no point in it to me. So I prioritize my art over prioritizing getting a small commission fee. So for anything that you see me using over and over and over again, you know that it's actually something that I like. So I just wanted to mention that, and if that gives you some peace of mind, that brings me so much joy. And if you still are hesitant, then hopefully you'll win one of my giveaways that I've done with their products before, and I know I'll be doing more of them in the future. So if you are, like I said, hesitant, you can give them a try that way too if you are the lucky winner. But otherwise, on our Captain Crunch here, I'm going to keep sculpting all of his bits and pieces. I added his eyes with white, a little bit of a lower eyelid on the eye that's closer to the camera, adding his little bit of mustache on the one side, and then doing his nose. His other side of the mustache too, but then also you're going to need to sculpt his nose. All of these things that you're sculpting, you're going to want to, like I said, just do them layer by layer. Don't rush it either. The more you try to rush, the better the chances are that something's going to go awry. So just take your time and take things slowly. And if you want to know any detailed tips and tricks I have for sculpting things in 3D that aren't necessarily about a certain character, but are just like my general philosophies on going through and sculpting things, is I do have a live class that I just did this month that was all about sculpting things with acrylic. Little 3D details. We sculpted a Mickey Mouse, and we're also I went through details on how to detail or 3D art with painting it. So if you are interested, that is definitely something that I would recommend going back and watching it if you did miss the live class. Otherwise, if you are interested in joining me for a future live class, you can sign up for my email list at hotpinkzebrapolish@hotmail.com. Just send me a thing saying that you want to join the email list, and I will definitely get you included so that you can join the next months and get information ahead of time so that you know all of the details that we need, so that you don't miss out on anything, because they're a lot of fun, and I think they're a great interactive experience, especially if you have questions that you want to ask me. Even if they aren't necessarily on topic, I'm fine to answer them at those classes as well. And so if you have any interest, definitely send me that email. Otherwise, you can always just tune in to my once a month classes. We've got Mr. Captain's hands that we're going to be sculpting in, going back with that toffee pecan. I added a little bit of golden details with metallic gold acrylic. That one is from Young Nails, and it is not one of their slick bore colors. It's one of their color acrylics. They're little, I think they're called, I can't think what they're, but they're little tiny little jars of art acrylics, and I do really like those. I don't even know if they're made anymore because they've kind of switched over to the slick pour. If anybody has an answer, do they still make those? Answer in the comment section, because I don't remember. But now we're going to be doing all of his details with acrylic paint. I'm going to start with the things that aren't the black outlines, which are pretty much the red in his mouth, and then his iris color, which is a really nice blue that pretty much matches the color of his uniform. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to dilute a little bit of my black paint and do all of my black painted details on my captain. So we're going to go through and do some hair texture, or not hair texture, but hair outlines. We're going to do outlines on everything. He is very cartoony. He has this wonderful jump off the page cartoon vibe, and so you want to make sure that all of those outlines are vivid and intense, and it'll just make him stand out that much more. When you're doing these little outlines, the best thing to do is to have acrylic paint for it, not a gel product. Gel does not really like to paint over acrylic that's 3D like this. It kind of catches and it pulls, and it's just not the best smooth experience that you're looking for. So if you want to do a little detail paint like this, definitely recommend picking up some craft acrylic paint. What I use is Americana, and that can be found at Michael's, Hobby Lobby. I think Walmart carries it too, but it's just a really nice thin viscosity paint that applies very well over acrylic. And just keep adding all of these details. The more you add, I think, in a character like this, kind of the better. So definitely look at your reference photos and fill in any little details that you see. If you do leave a few out though, nobody's ever going to know, so don't sweat the details. But then after that, we're going to apply a little layer of gel sealer over that glittery yellow background, really make the glitter shine, cure it, and finish with matte top coat over the captain, and this nail is done. I think it is just so cute, and I love all of these different themed videos, even though this one isn't necessarily or food themed videos. It's not a food design. It could certainly be. If you did some little cereal encapsulations, that would be amazing. I'd love to see it if you do, and otherwise I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!